Hey everybody, this is Tall Gamer Junkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So we got some big news today. Well, I guess it would have been yesterday. I'm just late. I haven't caught up to it. But apparently, Life is Strange, the first season, has been greenlit by Amazon Prime for a TV series. Now, I don't know too much about this. I'm still looking into it, but from what I gathered, it's based off the first game, and it's going to be helmed by someone called Charlie Covell. Still looking into who she is because I haven't really heard about her. But of this video, I wanted to talk about really why I think that this is not going to work, and this isn't just me hating on it because I'm a purist for the first game and I hated the second game. I think if you were to turn Life is Strange into a series, think of on Netflix, what was it called? American Horror Stories. Each season was based on a different story, different settings. My favorite's number 2. Season 2, I should say, not number 2. But that did a good job of saying, okay, this is a series, but we're going to be focusing on different stories across the season. So, because Life is Strange 1, 2, like all of them until Double Exposure had a beginning, middle, and end. But now with Double Exposure, that was a continuation of the first game. We're even getting a Double Exposure 2, which I don't think, especially with it expected to release next year, and the number of people that have been removed from Deck 9, I just don't think that Double Exposure 2 is gonna be able to make it. You know, that game has to be delayed at least until 2028 in my opinion. But getting back on topic, I want to discuss why I don't believe that this series is going to work. Now, one of the reasons this can't work, well, my biggest reason that can't work is because of how it ends. Now, we know when we play Life is Strange 1, before Double Exposure came out, there was a simple ending. Do you sacrifice Arcadia Bay and sacrifice Chloe? And if you sacrifice Arcadia Bay, we learned that Chloe and Max were still together. They were traveling, I think they were in Seattle at some point, and Max was handing in her photos to a gallery. Now, we don't know what Max was doing if she sacrificed Chloe, but we can assume she was doing something similar, as Double Exposure pretty much says that regardless of the ending, Max was on the road, never staying in one place for too long. As it's a game, we can decide what the ending is, and then that's it, you know, we have our own headcanon and whatnot for what happens. But as a TV series, one ending has to be canonical, right? You can't, and I don't see how this is gonna work, because despite what your ending is, I've mentioned this before during the time the Double Exposure was getting hyped up and we're all wondering what happened with Chloe. I made a video where I mentioned that while I do save Chloe, for me the story to come full circle, a proper finale, would be sacrificing Chloe to save Arcadia Bay, because we know what happens with Chloe and Max. They leave Arcadia Bay and they do as I mentioned before. But with Chloe dying, the game comes full circle. You're like, okay, you got the beginning, middle, and end type thing. If the series does get popular, then what happens? Where do you go from there? Are they gonna do what Double Exposure did and have Max and Chloe's relationship deteriorate until they eventually break up or stop being friends, whatever route they go down? That's my biggest issue with it. Another issue I have is how they're going to handle certain characters, such as Nathan, Jefferson, Victoria. If you've seen adaptations that Amazon has done, such as The Rings of Power, Willow, there was another one I'm trying to remember, but it's slipping my mind. you've seen with these two adaptations how they didn't respect the lore and what came before. So, and then when they were making their prequels, well, Rings of Power was a prequel and Willow was a sequel, you saw that they ignored the lore and just did their own thing, and no one likes it. And that's my worry here, because I don't want to see characters get race swapped and gender swapped, and most importantly, the story watered down. Because how are they going to handle a character like Jefferson, for example? He's a great antagonist, a great villain. He's one of my favorites. How do you think Amazon's going to handle his character? Like, how do you think they're going to handle Victoria and Taylor and Courtney bullying Kate? Hell, Kate's suicide attempt. What's going to happen there? Like, I don't think that. I think they're going to tread lightly and make slight changes to the story to make people feel less uncomfortable, because that's what's been going on with series lately that get adaptations. And like, look, but this is all just speculation. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. I really do hope it works. Like, in the end, I remember I was shitting on the comics when they first come out, because I was like, oh, where's Max and Chloe? And in the end, they got together, and I did enjoy that ending. Like, finally, after what, 4 or 5 years. But I'm hopeful. I'm hoping that this series can be good, because I think we can all agree that Double Exposure 2, with the amount of layoffs and the deadline that Square Enix and Deck 9 has to finish Double Exposure 2 by, the game's not going to be good. Because how long did they have with the first Double Exposure? Yeah, so this TV series might be the last chance for Life is Strange to stay on its feet, you know, and not fade away. Oh yeah, so that was it. The Last of Us. That's another series I was mentioning. The first series was okay, and then they did what the game did, and then they confused. Oh, why aren't people watching season 2? Well, people didn't like the game season 2, and then you decide to follow that same storyline for the TV show? What? Like, to be fair, I think Abby is somewhat justified in killing Joel when you know Joel killed her father, but the way it was handled, it wasn't done right. Like, I've seen on YouTube, they do the chronological mode for Life is Strange. Now look, not Life is Strange, for Last of Us, there's this chronological mode where it places Abby's scenes and Ellie's scenes in order, and it does make the story slightly better. Like, it doesn't fix the problems, but it does, like, make it like, oh, okay, you know, I totally get where Abby is coming from. But anyways, really, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm very interested to know, do you think this series is going to work? Isn't going to work? Would you rather focus on Max and Chloe or a new cast of characters? This is Game Junkie, signing off.